In this video, I go scuba diving on the Great Barrier Reef off the coast of Port Douglas. Hello everyone, my name is Just Mike and welcome to Sensacious Hiatus, where I highlight my travels and share information with you on how I made those adventures happen. So here's a shot from the boat heading out to the dive site, and you'll notice that the weather conditions were not very optimal on this day. But I did end up logging 3 dives and was really glad that I got to share the experience with some new friends, some of which you may have seen in my last video. That bloke there is Adam, he's from the UK, and he was my dive buddy for all 3 dives. We dove on 3 different dive sites on the Agincourt Ribbon Reef system, which is about an hour-and-a-half boat ride from Port Douglas. Also, the visibility on this day was a little low, however we still managed to see a lot of life. At one point during the second dive of the day, the dive master turned around and gave us all the shark signal. You can barely see him make that motion here, but moments later a medium-sized gray reef shark came into view and made a few passes by our group. On the third pass, he was following a small school of barracudas and they swam right underneath us. Towards the end of one of the dives, we were in a shallow part of the reef and I spotted a morray eel swimming out of its den for a moment. I want to take a minute to talk a little bit about the current conditions of the reef, as it just feels like something will be missing if I don't at least bring this up. And you may have already noticed some of the footage that I got in this video where the reef just doesn't look like it's in the best of health. And the truth is, it's not. There were several times during these dives and also on the dives that I did off the coast of Cairns where the reef just looked dead. And that's not a groundbreaking statement either, and I don't want this to turn into a preachy video where I'm shouting about climate change. I mean, that's just not what I do on this channel, but I do want to encourage everyone watching this to go out and do your own research on what's happening to the reef. Go out on the internet, look up the information for yourself. I mean, there's so many free resources available today. You can read an article about it, listen to a podcast, or you can even watch a documentary on it. And, you know, that's where I'm going to leave it. Scuba diving the Great Barrier Reef was absolutely one of my favorite things that I did during my whole year in Australia. And I decided long before I arrived in Australia that getting out on the reef was a must-do activity for me. And if you're seriously considering going out on the Great Barrier Reef, I just want to say that I think you should do it sooner rather than later. Alright, with that said, that is going to wrap it up for this video. I did do another dive in Australia, so be on the lookout for that video in the future. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.